Well, the upcoming LEGO Star Wars Clones vs. Droids BattlePack is looking very promising for alternate builds. I loaded up the pieces from the set digitally, and I came up with this walker and speeder combo. I also came up with another build that uses only parts from the speeder and the little clone turret, so you can keep the tri-droid and the stap together. But I'll show you those in just a second here. And by the way, each alternate build I'm about to show you only requires one of the set to make. On my first version of the walker and speeder alternate build, I was going for a sidecar turret on the speeder, but it turned out a little goofy looking just because of the parts I had available. The front bars were also a little bit too far apart for my liking, so I went back to the drawing board and came up with the version 2. Now the speeder actually has a rear-facing blaster turret on the back which a second minifigure can operate, as well as plenty of room in the driver's seat for another minifigure. There's some nice little engines on either side to make this thing go fast, and the bars at the front, in my opinion, look so much better when they're together versus being spaced out 2 studs. Here's a quick comparison of the version 1 and version 2 speeder, and be sure to let me know down in the comments which one you prefer. And now on to the walkers. There's not much difference between the version 1 and version 2 walkers, I just had to move a few parts around because I needed them to use on the version 2 speeder. It's really just the feet and the front of the walker that I changed. The feet and legs have some really cool details on them, especially in the back with those stud shooters and locking Technic hinge pieces. At the top of the legs are some little rocket launchers represented by a blue stud. You'll also find a large antenna back here, in addition to a gunner's position that can hold one minifigure, and he just has a basic heavy blaster that is attached up there. Finally, we do have another blaster on the very bottom of the walker right underneath the main minifigure, and that of course is being controlled by the driver of the walker who sits right here. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have any controls, he's just kind of sitting there awkwardly with his hands, but it is what it is. Anyways, that's the walker and speeder combo. I much prefer version 2. But now let me show you what you can build if you still want to keep your droid vehicles together. So I basically just took the speeder bike and made a Giga Chad version of it. This one can fit 3 clone trooper minifigures, and it has 2 heavy blasters that can be aimed outward. The front bars are spaced apart, but unlike the version 1 of my other speeder, I actually really like it here. And I decided to use the road sign pieces as some armor plating, which I think looks really cool. Unfortunately though, the driver minifigure doesn't really have anything to do with his hands this time either, because I used the handlebars to mount the road signs. But it does have some nice little engines in the back. Now I don't have instructions for these yet because I need the actual set to be able to do that, but hopefully we can all get our hands on this set when it comes out. Until then, thanks for watching and I will see you next time.